Hi, hey, and all those other greetings, Spin Adventurers. I'm Jake Spins, welcoming you guys back to my gaming and unboxing channel. And today, we are back with some Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Build Me a Dream. Now, I have been toying around with a lot of ideas. I did think of doing a Mario Galaxy themed stage, which I still plan to do. But there's been a lot of thought about how I want to do it, what I want to do, if it would be way too basic, and just so many different thoughts in my head. So I figured, you know what, I do have a few ideas for the next Sonic Adventure stage. Well, going in order, of course, as in order as you can go, with Ice Cap being like one of the first and it all out of whack. But since I'm now going in order, the next one would actually be Casinopolis, which there's a lot of places in this stage that you can choose. You can choose the main casino area, you can choose the pinball section, you can choose, heck, the showers. I'm telling you, there are so many places and there's so many reasons why I'm doing it the way that I am doing it, and even the process of what I've decided to do, I've flopped around so many different ideas, and I think I landed on one. So hopefully I'm able to do it well, and yeah, you guys will see how I do, and fingers crossed, guys. Alright, let's go. Build a dream. Hey guys, and welcome to, I think, episode 6 of Build Me a Dream, where, oh boy, there is a lot that we can talk about and very, very little time. So usually I just go right in, start talking about my thought process on the stage, but Casinopolis is such a very different stage for me. Now, the big reason why is because all the stages that I've done before, I've immediately thought, what is the most iconic part of the stage, and what can I do? You know, with Emerald Coast, it was the bridge with the whale, and I had a lot of struggles with that, as you guys know. And for Ice Cap, it was the giant icicle. You know, there's always that one thing that I think about this stage, and it just pops out at me. You know, also the Windy Valley stage with being in the tornado. It's iconic, it works, it makes a lot of sense, but Casinopolis is extremely different. And the huge reason why is because, in my opinion, while a lot of these stages do have a huge variety of differences, things that you can take that are super iconic, this one has a huge amount. And sorry, I just want to interrupt myself really quick and say, if you're wondering why I did the flippers twice, it's actually because I started them in the wrong background. Alright, but anyway though, the first idea that I had, I actually really liked. So you guys know that whole entire vault area inside of when you're finishing the stage, you know, the area where you get the Chaos Emerald. Well, my huge idea was having that vault area, and on the side there'd be these little slot things, and they would push all the coins down, the coins would fall, and you'd essentially be fighting, trying to avoid these coins that are falling. They wouldn't hurt you, but they would be very annoying. Now you might be wondering, well, Spins, A, why didn't you do that? And B, what was the reason why you didn't even try it? Well, the reason I didn't try it was because I realized very, very quickly that wasn't going to work because of the whole issue with, for some reason, in this game, if you have a ton of small objects, that takes up a lot more space than if you have, like, more larger objects. If you have the whole entire screen covered in objects, you might not be at the weight limit, but if you have like 50 tiny platforms, you're going to be at the weight limit. So that ended up being an issue. So my next idea was, well, my idea after that was, what if I did for the sewer area? And the reason why I didn't do that was because Windy Valley would be super similar. Now, if you're wondering how so, well, the way I would have done the sewer would have been slightly different, but pretty much the same. There would have been less wind, but I would have had the fan in the center and then a whole bunch of tunnels. So yes, it would have been different, but having already done the wind aspect in a few different stages and the wind elevator in Ice Cap, I just really wanted to do something different. And maybe if there's enough people that do want to see a sewer version of Casinopolis, then I might end up making that stage, because thinking about it, it is kind of a cool, interesting idea, and maybe it'll be like a bonus thing once I run out of stages and all of that, or I need some more fresh ideas, so I go when I start creating. So now the next one is the last one that I just ended up coming up with before the final product. So that would be a working slot machine. Now, of course, this stage would have been kind of boring because you would have just fought on the top of the slot machine and a lot of the mechanics would have taken up a ton of room, but unfortunately, that doesn't work because they collide with themselves, and then you have the fact that you can't put multiple objects on different rails, so you just end up having this fallen apart mess that just doesn't work. And then the background layers, as in Windy Valley, you also have that problem. So I kind of compromised and I said, you know what is close to the slot machine? And I said, you know what, the pinball table. And I literally decided this 20 minutes. I worked on this whole entire slot machine thing for 20 minutes before realizing this isn't going to work. It's really late at night. I need to come up with something, and I need to come up with something fast. So I came up with the Sonic version of the pinball machine. Now, of course, you could do the Knights version, which would be incredibly different, and I could maybe do that, but I really don't have as much interest or passion in that. Now, the thing is, what I ended up ultimately deciding to do was I decided to put a lot of background elements. There isn't a huge background, but the whole thing is I looked at it and I tried to replicate as much as possible. There is a lot inside of that slot machine, but I looked at the few key components. First of all, being the flippers, and you saw with the guardrails, I ended up trying to make a more solid platform, feeling like maybe you'll fall through it, and then I changed it to steel, and I realized, actually, that's a really cool design. So after that, I ended up putting the bumpers being like the bumpers in the actual pinball machine, and I thought about it, and this is where we're at right now. I realized that one of my biggest issues with a previous stage was actually the fact that when you spawned, there was no center. And the center is the spawn, so you'd essentially spawn on this one platform well, basically you'd be pushed off, and as the match is starting, you could die. And that happened with Alamar, and it was very unfortunate. And I had to fix a lot of stuff. Spawning in Smash Brothers is just very bizarre when it comes to custom stages, so you have to be very careful. So I decided to put a little, and it's not working, but I think it looks nice. I put the blue for Sonic, yellow for Tails, and the red for Knuckles, being the whole slot machine mechanic area. And then, of course, I put the Sonic pixel art, which took up a lot of space. But honestly, I feel like it was super worth it. I did end up putting some text, which was extremely interesting. So for the rest of this stuff, you might be wondering, why did you have warp zones? Well, I toyed with the idea of, at the top of the pinball screen, you have 3 entries. You have one entry which activates the slot machine, which I obviously can't do, and then you have another 2 which are blocked off and you have to hit, and they kind of take you to these little tunnels and plop you in certain areas, put you in a bonus room type of thing, which, again, I wouldn't be able to do. So I thought that putting warp zones up there could kind of replicate it, but I decided against it to do a more personal style, which I went very back and forth on. And these letters are actually one of the things that changed constantly and drastically, even though you wouldn't think they would have because they're just letters, but I did end up going back and changing them in the future. And then you also have the whole entire part, which it's kind of unnecessary, but the 2 cannons, I figured for a pinball machine, you gotta have a part where you launch off. So that's what that's for. That's the whole initial launching sequence of the pinball machine. And then the lava part is those purple little notches that you hit, and you hit all 3 of them, and you get rings and stuff. For the flippers as well, I wish you could have switches just initially be on, because what I wanted to do was I wanted to put the flippers, have them be on, but you could turn them on and off, and I thought it would be very interactive. As you can see, it's a fairly simple stage. I toyed around with a lot of stuff. A lot of the time that I spent was actually trying to figure out what in the world I wanted to do. But yeah, believe it or not, this is the final product, but I like it. There is one final change that I did make, which is platforms under the flippers, but other than that, there's nothing else. Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed, and going to the other spins, which will tell you a bit more. Alright, see you guys later. Alrighty guys, and here is Casinopolis. This is what it is for right now. Honestly, I like it. It's simple, but effective. Now, I'm going to be honest here. What I first wanted to do, and I'm probably not going to show this because it was a good 20 minutes that I wasted in the beginning of this, was I wanted to make this a working slot machine. And I knew that was going to take up a lot of it, and that it was going to be an extraordinarily simple stage. But I was like, you know what? I feel like it's relatively worth giving it a go. And I tried it, and I completely forgot about the many flaws that I would come across. One of those very specific things being the fact that the background layer, if you guys remember last episode for Windy Valley, is that it doesn't really mesh as well if you're at certain angles, so that part would definitely be tricky depending on where you are at the stage. The other thing, however, is the fact of just trying to get it to work. You need a lot more space, you need a lot more mechanics, and unfortunately, you can't just attach objects to the exact same rail, and if they bump on each other, they will bounce back. There's no way to fix that, and if you attach them, you can't make them turn. So there was a huge limitation with that. So instead, what I decided to do was I decided to try my best to recreate this. It's not Sonic Forces. That's what I was listening to. But the Sonic pinball machine inside of here. I figured, you know what, it's a very unique type of thing inside of this, and it's something that I feel like could be very unique, you know? Granted, you could argue the fact that, yes, if you really wanted it to be, this is essentially just Final Destination. And while there are a few tweaks that I want to make, just because that borderline, just this flat part being here, that's mostly so that, you know, you spawn on there, Unfortunately, I can't put like a pinball in here. But even though it's fairly flat, I felt like there was a lot that we could do here. You know, you have the pinball mechanics, so if you really want to, you can go down here and you can fight down there. If I had more weight for the stage, I would add like a little more decoration, like the background arrows and all of that. But I thought it would be really fun to make a nice little pixel arted Sonic and kind of bring it to life. Now, you might be wondering why I chose the Kalos background, and the reasoning is because, well, the whole pinball thing, it's dark with a bunch of shining lights, and this is dark with a bunch of stained glass. This was honestly the closest that I felt would work for this, and the only reason why I didn't put like a background is because of the lettering, but also I felt like it would just kind of look a bit strange, and we just don't have enough space for that, unfortunately. It's fairly simple, you know, you got the bumpers in there, you've got the bumpers here, so if you get launched over here, you might get saved by the bumpers, and then you've got the cannons over here, which are supposed to be where you start the pinball machine and you go from one cannon to another. You would generally get thrown up here and in a curve into here, but of course we can't really replicate that as well because we got to make sure that the blast zone is open. But to be honest, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out, even if I do feel it's a lot simpler than my other stages. It's not the feeling of Lava Reef Zone, because that one I honestly genuinely did not think was good. It was not up to standard. But this, I honestly like it, and I'm interested to see how fights on it will go and what you guys think. If you guys do have feedback, I might do some changes and try my best to upload like a second one, but I'll probably keep it relatively the same unless I think of another way to change it, because yeah, but we'll talk about all that stuff when we actually do the video anyway. Alright, so first things first, we do actually have to save the stage. So, okay, and it is Casino. It's like Casinopolis, but it's like really bizarre because it's just spelled kind of weird. It's like a mesh of words. So yeah, there we go, Casinopolis DX, and I chose Lights Camera Action because the stage is relatively similar in Sonic Mania. You've got, like, in the fact of you have a bunch of bumpers, and it's very pinball-esque, so I figured the music worked, and I kind of compared them, and I was like, yeah, this is close enough. You know, it's not like with Ice Cap Zone where I chose Forest of Hope, and nobody has any idea why. But anyway, though, we're actually going to test out a match in this really quick. Hey guys, so you probably didn't expect this random change. You know, it's the next morning, there's light, I'm obviously in a different shirt. But the main reason why I am re-recording this match is because, well, the match that was showcased was basically just Pac-Man SDing. When you're doing pinball, what? Why did he do that? Alright, the AI on this stage is very, very silly. But it does look really nice this way, though. Not gonna lie. And once again, Pac-Man is being an idiot. Did I kill him once? Or did he just die from sheer stupidity? And I also made a few changes, as I think I slipped in the post-commentary. I just recorded it, so you'd think I'd remember. But I figured, you know what? I'm going to try to have a better match, because I actually played a few matches off recording, and of course those matches were very, very good, and they were against level 9 computers, too. The Young Link one, I definitely should have lost on, but I really, really don't care. But Rosalina one, that one I got some pretty sick combos on for the first life. So we're actually going to go with Young Link here, just because I feel like, you know, maybe we can strike lightning twice. Because when I fought Young Link, even though I did awful, I really got to showcase a lot of, well, I got to get the feeling of being completely demolished. Also, that's not what I wanted. Yeah. It's Young Link. What did you expect? Oh, he probably just saved me there. But I got, oh my god, what is it that I can't fight Young Link? Even my my one friend who mains Young Link, I did awful at fighting. Is this just a terrible matchup for Sonic? Probably. But whatever. If I can actually move around, you guys will be able to see, yeah, this stage very chaotic. Which is probably one of the best ways to show off this chaos, is by Young Link's chaos. Wow, he just punched me. Yeah, you guys are going to see some awful gameplay from me. Not going to lie. No, oh god. Oh god, yeah, it's very easy to die from those flippers. So one of the big changes that I got made is that you can actually fall through here. So I put an extra platform that you can grab, and oh, that's not what I expected to happen, but I'll take it. But I did that so that you can recover, and it actually fixed the AI because they would constantly be going off the side for some reason, and now they don't do that, or when they do, they actually save themselves afterwards. I have yet to fight with an actual person though, so I don't know how that'll be, but you can do a lot of surprises, like with being down here and then just popping up like that. It's like just enough room to get an up smash for certain characters. Oh, I wanted to do a smash attack and I just didn't do the right inputs, and then now I'm just being silly. It's a level 9 computer and I think he's gonna fall for that, you know. Yeah, it's the jabs that I can get off, right? Why did I do that? That was really stupid of me. Oh my god, why? Yeah, I'm rusty, guys. I'm super rusty. But hey, if I do terrible to where it's a quick match, then whatever. But yeah, unfortunately that does mean that anytime I keep launching them over there, they keep getting over here. Oh no, he got hit on the launch pad. It's kind of like a more fun version of the Forbidden Cage. Because if you guys remember in Smash 4, the Forbidden Cage, you couldn't do crap. But this one, it's more controlled chaos. Oh my god, he keeps just getting launched in the wrong areas for me. But yeah, I'm going to keep that whole thing as a grabable ledge. The only other thing I changed was putting Sonic in the same layer as, well, Sonic. And I did try to put a background because my one friend said, well, you can hardly see Sonic in the photo that I put. So I tried to fix that, but I think, like, when you're actually playing, it's fine. How are you at 200? Oh my god, this is ridiculous. That's also a thing you can do. So it's also very punishable. But I'm very interested to see how people will react. Oh, I just missed the hitbox on that. No, I wanted to do dash attack. Ah, gee. I don't know what it is. Young Link just has a really stupidly good AI. And it might even just be this stage or the fact that this is just a bad matchup. Which, I mean, Sonic versus projectile characters just in general is. And Sonic with very little room to roam around is also very hard to do. But yeah, trust me, if you guys saw the Pac-Man match, you'd be like, yeah, even though you're getting destroyed, this is way better. Oh, this is punishable. If I, oh, what are you doing, Young Link? You wanna, well, okay, I said it fixed the AI. It mostly did. Wow, he's being a complete and utter jerk. It is kind of a campable spot, but I figure, you know, if you're gonna play it, you can play it however you want. But also, I feel like there's just gonna be a lot more strategy you can use. So, It's better to be able to save yourself because of something that's not intended versus, you know, that. Oh my god. Young Link, no! At least he's not gonna 3-star me. My god. But the other difference, too, is that I was also able to focus. Oh my... He just threw out, like, 3 bombs! He still hasn't used, like, a down air or up air, though. So, the only thing I can get off is, like, jabs. Oh, god. Oh, this is very... Okay, if you had more if you had a higher percent, then that would have been punchable. Yeah, so you're going to have a lot of very long matches on here. I would suggest probably doing 2-stock for this. Unless, you know, your friend is just super good. Or plays Young Link. I don't know what it is. I can't fight Young Link. The sad thing is, the other one I actually won because he skied. But there you go, guys. That's Casinopolis DX. So if you guys did enjoy it, sorry that I lost. But hey, it was against a level 9. So, and it's a stage that is custom. So anything can happen. I know, John's. But if you guys want to make a stage off of Casinopolis, please show me. Because seriously, I would love to see your guys' creations. If people have made for the other stages that I have made, I have yet to see anybody let me know. But there's so many things that you can do with Casinopolis. And heck, I've said multiple times that I might even come back and do, like, there's like 3-4 stages that I could potentially make off of this one stage. And a lot of the other stages, like, sure, Windy Valley, Tornado, you can make, you know, the general area. Yes, you can do that type of stuff. Emerald Coast, there's a few places that you could probably go towards depending on what you want to do. But generally, you have the whale. For Ice Cap, heck, if you have the avalanche snowboarding section, you can have that type of thing. But Casinopolis, it has so many different things that you can do because there's so many different things you can do in the actual stage. And it's insane. It's insanely fun. Honestly, it might even be one of my favorite stages because it's just that great. But anyway, though, I really shouldn't be dragging this out because I gotta get going to be able to post this so that you guys can play the level and have just as much fun as Young Link did beating the crap out of Sonic. But anyway, though, guys, hopefully you enjoyed. Hope to see your creations, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Keep it safe.